How to stop a cold before it even starts by blocking it before it can spread through your body. At the very first sign of a cold, you might notice a slight scratchiness in your throat, a dull ache in your neck or muscles, or random chills or suddenly feeling cold. These sensations happen when your immune system has just detected the very beginning of a cold infection. The first thing you can do is help your body fight back by gargling with warm salt water every 30 minutes to suppress the infection. Today I'll show you exactly how to make this work and also take it to the next level, followed by some very powerful natural remedies, foods and nutrients that support your immune system. When a cold virus enters your nose or throat, it attaches to your cells and begins to multiply. Your immune system usually notices these invaders within just 3 to 4 hours, and it sends in chemicals to try and stop the virus from replicating. These natural chemicals widen blood vessels, making your throat feel scratchy and warm. This is often why you start to feel poorly with the chills, the aches, or a thin coat of mucus. This first 24 hours is exactly where you have the most control, because the virus is still only in your throat and nasal passages now, and it hasn't yet spread deeper into the airways and the lungs. This is the best time that you can start to help your body fight against it before it multiplies. Once it spreads deeper into your tissues, it can take much longer for your immune system to clear out the infection. And this is why warm saltwater gargling works so well. Viruses rely on moisture on the inner surfaces so they can spread, but salted water draws out that moisture from the throat, nose and the sinus lining, which temporarily helps to stop those viruses from multiplying. Sea salt in particular often works even better for this because it has a higher concentration of minerals. And the act of gargling literally washes chunks of viruses away before the cold can fully take hold. So, in the first 24 hours of a cold coming on, take 8 ounces of warm water, or about 250 milliliters, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Celtic or Himalayan salt works best, but you can use regular table salt if that's all you have. Gargle with the mixture over a sink for about 15 to 30 seconds as vigorously as you can and then spit it out. Repeat this process every 20 to 30 minutes during the first few hours that you notice a cold coming on. Studies show that gargling with salt and water physically washes away viral particles in your throat and airways. It also helps to remove the mucus traps that viruses stick to, again making it harder for them to replicate. You can also take this to the next level by flushing out your sinuses. Many common cold viruses begin in the nasal passages because the inside of your nose is cooler and viruses prefer cooler temperatures to replicate. This is exactly why people tend to get more cold during the winter. However, a simple saline rinse using boiled and cooled distilled water has been shown in clinical trials to reduce sinus symptoms and even shorten the duration of a cold. All you need to do is take 1 cup of distilled water, add a half a teaspoon of non-iodized sea salt, and optionally 5 drops of grapefruit seed extract for a bit more potency. Add these ingredients into a neti pot and then leaning over the sink, let the liquid pass through one nostril and out of the other. Do this every 2 hours at the first sign of a cold. The chlorides in the salt help your immune cells to make a chemical which helps block viruses from spreading. And although you don't 100% need this, grapefruit seed extract can also help to soothe the irritated tissue, and it works very well with the salt to wash away germs that are sitting on the inside of the nose or the sinuses. And this is another reason that you should try to keep your body as warm as possible. You see, common cold rhinoviruses absolutely hate heat, as they prefer cooler temperatures, especially below 33 degrees Celsius. This is why colds often start inside your nose in the winter when you're breathing in the cold air. And it's also why your immune system raises your temperature or gives you a fever when you're sick. It's trying to block the cold spreading deeper into your body by slowing viral enzymes. So, in the first 24 hours of a cold, it would be a good idea to keep warm, wear thicker clothing, use blankets, and take hot baths and showers. The heat will help to inhibit that virus from spreading to your lungs and then into the rest of your body. In this early stage, you'd also want to avoid cough suppressants, because that tiny cough you get is your body trying to push the virus out of your airways. So the last thing that you'd want to do is start using cough mixtures, drops or syrups. If the mucus is building up and causing irritation, you might encourage it to come out by carefully placing your head over a bowl of steaming water. Inhaling the warm steam dislodges mucus and viral particles, making it much harder for them to replicate. Instead of suppressing your immune system, you want to encourage it to work better. This is why it's a good idea in the winter to keep a few items in your pantry, such as garlic soaked in a jar of honey. This particular remedy has been used in different forms across Europe and Asia for centuries. You can prepare this remedy and simply store it all year round for times like this. Take a mason jar and fill it with peeled whole garlic cloves. Cover them up completely with a good locally grown raw honey that has no additives. Alternatively, use Manuka honey with at least 10 plus UMF, as this type has stronger antimicrobial activity. Store this mixture in a cool cupboard for up to a year, and at the first sign of a cold, simply start eating 1 clove a day. Or you can take 1 clove daily through the winter to support your immune system. The natural plant compounds in garlic and honey support the activity of the immune cells in your nose and throat where the viruses first enter, and they also create a soothing film that makes it harder for germs to spread. So there you have 5 simple remedies to help stop a cold before it starts. But there's something even more important happening behind the scenes that decides whether a cold will stay mild and pass quickly or become a full-blown illness. Let's talk about what could actually make a cold get worse. Your immune system is a collection of inbuilt defenses that protect your body every single day, but certain things can weaken this system, making it harder for your body to fight off a cold. For example, cold winter air or sitting indoors with the heating on can dry out your airways, making your mucus thick, sticky, and it gives viruses more time to infect your cells. Eating sugar or refined carbs can slow down white blood cells for about 3 to 4 hours, lowering your defenses against colds and blocking you from absorbing as much vitamin C. Stress hormones can also rise when you aren't sleeping enough, which can slow your immune system down. Being deficient in certain nutrients, like zinc or vitamin D, can allow viruses to multiply. And overusing antibiotics also disrupts your gut bacteria, making you more vulnerable. So if you really want to give your immune system that extra push of support during the first 24 hours, you may also try these stronger immune support remedies such as black elderberry, a natural remedy used for respiratory infections for over 2,500 years. This actually dates back to ancient Greece. Look for black elderberry extract capsules, which have around 300 to 600 milligrams of standardized extract per day. But stay away from any supermarket elderberry syrups or gummies, which contain a lot of sugar and will not have the same effect. Black elderberry contains flavonoids which bind to viral spikes, making it harder for them to latch onto your cells and spread. One study actually showed that taking this extract before flying shortened the duration of a cold for people who caught one in the air. Now, another simple way to support your immune system in these early stages is to make sure that you're getting enough zinc. Whenever I feel poorly, the first thing that I do is try to eat more beef, oysters, mussels, and pumpkin seeds, which are all excellent sources of that key immune mineral called zinc. You see, when viruses enter your body, they use enzymes from your own body to copy themselves and spread. But having enough zinc helps to block these enzymes, and it also stabilizes the membranes in your throat or nasal cells to help stop those viruses from sticking to them. Alternatively, people use up to 30 milligrams of zinc glycinate or zinc picolinate per day from supplements, And you can also help your immune system to use this zinc more easily by getting more quercetin. Quercetin is a natural plant compound that helps zinc enter cells more easily when your immune system detects a virus. Most people use between 250 to 500 milligrams of quercetin daily in this scenario, or you can simply eat more cranberries, capers, and red onions to get more of it into your diet. And now another important nutrient that sometimes gets forgotten is vitamin D. During the winter months, people naturally become lower in vitamin D because we tend to spend more time indoors and have less access to the sunlight. But vitamin D is actually the most important nutrient that modulates the immune system, and it helps tighten junctions between airway cells, making it difficult for viruses to penetrate your system and spread. You can get more vitamin D in the winter by simply eating wild fish like salmon, herring, and sardines, or by taking 10,000 IUs in the active form called vitamin D3. This is the equivalent to spending about 20 minutes in the sunlight, so it's not as a large amount as it seems. So there you have it. These nutrients work deeper inside the body, but there are also a few drinks and foods that you might want to try as well. Apple cider vinegar, for example, is a wonderful way to help speed immune cell activity. Ginger tea is very soothing to your throat and airways. Mushrooms have beta-glucans which support the immune cells that patrol your airways. And drinking bone broth can help to hydrate you during a cold as well. But what if you were a little late in noticing that you had a cold? If you're already a day or two into it, or you have a lot of thick mucus, there is one final remedy that I'd like to share called NAC. N-acetylcysteine is a time-tested remedy which works as a mucolytic agent, breaking the bonds inside mucus proteins so that mucus becomes thinner and easier to expel. This natural amino acid has been used for decades in respiratory medicine, especially in people with chronic bronchitis and sinus problems. The typical doses studied are between 600 and 1200 milligrams once or twice per day. NAC also helps boost your body's master antioxidant called glutathione, which can support your immune system in working more efficiently while you recover. So to keep it simple, here's what I'd personally do during the first 24 hours of a cold. Warm saltwater gargling every 20 to 30 minutes for the first few hours. If your nose feels blocked or cold, use a saline rinse to flush out the virus before it spreads. Keep the body warm using layers, hot showers and blankets, and avoid breathing cold air as much as possible. And try to get more sleep and rest to help lower cortisol and let your immune defenses do their job. Do not use cough suppressants at all, but gently inhale steam to loosen mucus before the viruses can stick. Use the simple remedies from your pantry like garlic and honey, ginger tea, bone broth and apple cider vinegar. And if you have them to hand, black elderberry, zinc, vitamin D and quercetin-rich foods can all support immunity. And if the mucus is already building up, NAC may be used to help clear it faster by breaking mucus bonds. If you're one of those people who gets constant mucus all year round that won't seem to